Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit.
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud.
It's hard to believe, but Sunny Hostin, the well-known co-host of The View, is now at the center of one of the most shocking legal sagas in recent memory. Just when you thought the drama couldn't escalate further, new details have emerged, tying Sunny directly to the RICO case involving her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin. And let's not forget, this isn't just any case. It's being called the biggest RICO investigation in New York since the days of the mafia. The stakes, life in prison. The allegations, jaw-dropping. The fallout, potentially career-ending. Buckle up because this story is wild, messy, and full of twists that no one saw coming.
If she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is, but I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Let's start with the basics. Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, a prominent orthopedic surgeon, has been accused of being one of the key players in a massive insurance fraud scheme. According to court filings, this isn't just a matter of overbilling or clerical errors. It's alleged that Dr. Hostin knowingly participated in a long-running operation involving fraudulent medical procedures, billing for unnecessary surgeries, and receiving kickbacks disguised as legitimate payments. The accusations claim the scheme exploited New York's no-fault insurance laws, which are designed to cover medical expenses for car accident victims, regardless of fault. But here's the kicker. Prosecutors say that the victims were often involved in staged or exaggerated accidents, essentially creating a pipeline of fake injuries that Dr. Hostin and his associates could bill for. Sound unbelievable? Well, the evidence prosecutors claim to have spans over a decade and involves hundreds of millions in allegedly fraudulent claims.
According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries.
But where does Sunny Hostin fit into all of this? That's where things get even messier. Recent reports have surfaced that Sunny may have played a role in covering up her husband's activities. Prosecutors are now alleging that Sunny not only knew about the fraudulent scheme, but actively helped her husband hide money and assets as the investigation began to heat up. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the media world, given Sunny's reputation as a legal expert and her outspoken nature on ethical issues. To think that someone who built her career on integrity could now be implicated in a case of this magnitude is nothing short of stunning.
Emmanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket scattershot.
According to insiders close to the investigation, Sunny allegedly used her legal expertise to advise her husband on how to shield assets from scrutiny. Rumors are swirling that she may have helped set up shell companies or facilitated the movement of money into offshore accounts. While these claims are unverified, they've certainly added fuel to the fire. And let's not forget her high-profile position on The View, a platform where she often criticizes corruption and misconduct. The hypocrisy of it all has not gone unnoticed by the public, with many questioning how someone so vocal about accountability could now be caught in such a scandal.
RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
What's even more intriguing is the timeline. Sources suggest that the investigation into Dr. Hostin had been ongoing for years, but it wasn't until late last year that prosecutors began to suspect Sunny's involvement. And this wasn't just a casual suspicion. Reports claim that investigators found financial records and communications that allegedly linked Sunny to the scheme. While the exact details remain under wraps, one thing is clear. Sunny's role in this case is far from minor. Adding to the drama are the rumors and speculations circulating online. Some claim that Sunny was the mastermind behind the entire operation, using her legal knowledge to orchestrate the fraud from behind the scenes. Others believe she was simply trying to protect her family in the face of mounting legal troubles. One particularly explosive theory suggests that Sunny may have been the one to tip off investigators about other parties involved in the scheme, hoping to deflect attention from herself and her husband. Again, none of this has been confirmed, but the mere existence of these rumors shows just how sensational this case has become.
Of Sunny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a scheme.
What's undeniable, though, is the hypocrisy. Sunny Hostin has built her brand on being a champion of justice, often taking the moral high ground on The View. Whether it's discussing political corruption, systemic inequality, or holding public figures accountable, Sunny has never shied away from calling out bad behavior. Yet now, she finds herself accused of the very kind of misconduct she so often condemns. The irony is not lost on her critics, many of whom have taken to social media to express their outrage. Some are even calling for her resignation from The View, arguing that her credibility as a commentator is now irreparably damaged.
Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is.
And let's not forget the legal implications. If prosecutors can prove that Sunny played an active role in the fraud, she could be facing serious charges herself. While her husband is the main suspect and could potentially face life in prison, if convicted, Sunny's alleged involvement could land her in hot water as well. Legal experts say that even if she wasn't directly involved in the fraudulent activities, helping to hide assets or obstructing the investigation could lead to charges of conspiracy or accessory after the fact. And given the high-profile nature of this case, you can bet that prosecutors will be looking to make an example out of anyone involved. But here's where things get even more complicated. Sunny's public persona as a co-host on The View isn't just about offering opinions. It's about shaping narratives. And right now, the narrative she's facing is one of deceit and hypocrisy. Critics are pointing to past episodes where Sunny has passionately argued for holding the powerful accountable, using those very moments to highlight the disparity between her words and her alleged actions. One clip that's been making the rounds online shows Sunny emphatically stating, "No one is above the law" during a discussion about political corruption. The irony of that statement, given her current situation, has not been lost on viewers.
Now, he's just accused, and this accused in a lawsuit after some time of investigation could ultimately become a federal indictment. As
the investigation continues, one question looms large. How much did Sunny really know? Was she an active participant in her husband's alleged crimes? Or was she simply caught up in a situation she couldn't control? And perhaps most importantly, will she face the same level of scrutiny and accountability that she so often demands of others? These are the questions that everyone, from her fans to her critics, will be watching closely in the coming months. For now, Sunny has remained tight-lipped about the allegations, refusing to address them directly on The View or in public statements. But that hasn't stopped the media frenzy. Tabloids, blogs, and even mainstream outlets have been dissecting every aspect of her life, from her financial records to her past comments on legal ethics. It's a level of scrutiny that few public figures ever experience, and it shows no signs of letting up anytime soon.
And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history.
As we transition to the broader implications of this case, it's clear that the fallout from these revelations will be far-reaching. Sunny Hostin's involvement in the RICO case isn't just a personal scandal, it's a public spectacle that's forcing everyone to reevaluate what they thought they knew about her. And with new allegations and lawsuits emerging almost daily, this story is far from over. Stay tuned, because the drama is only just beginning. So, the story of Sunny Hostin and her mounting legal troubles doesn't end with her alleged involvement in the RICO case surrounding her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin. In fact, it's just the beginning. As the scandal widens, even more lawsuits and legal drama are coming her way, threatening not just her reputation, but her career and future. And let's be honest, who would have thought that the same Sunny Hostin who built her career on credibility and sharp legal analysis would find herself at the center of multiple courtroom battles? It's almost too wild to believe, but the reality we're diving into today.
Sunny Hostin of The View, who's constantly raging about race and reparations and how bad America is and its racial past and all this stuff.
Let's start with one of the most talked about lawsuits, the one involving none other than Melania Trump. Yes, you heard that right. The former First Lady has reportedly filed a massive defamation lawsuit against Sunny Hostin and the producers of The View. The lawsuit stems from comments Sunny allegedly made during an episode of the show where she speculated about Melania's personal life and marriage to Donald Trump. According to Melania's legal team, Sunny's remarks were not only offensive, but blatantly false, and they claim the statements caused significant damage to Melania's reputation. Melania reportedly filed the suit seeking hundreds of millions in damages, making it one of the largest defamation cases in recent years.
So, here's some news for you. The former First Lady has been noticeably absent on her husband's campaign trail.
What makes this lawsuit even more dramatic is how it ties into Sunny's public persona. On The View, Sunny has never been shy about voicing her opinions, especially when it comes to politics and public figures. She's known for her bold and often controversial takes, but it seems that this time, her words may have gone too far. Melania's lawyers argue that Sunny crossed the line between expressing an opinion and spreading harmful falsehoods. And let's not forget, Melania isn't just any public figure. She's a former First Lady with significant influence and resources. Her legal team is reportedly pulling no punches, and they're determined to hold Sunny accountable for what they see as a reckless attack on Melania's character.
But everything else, great for this country. So what do you love most about your husband?
The fallout from this lawsuit could be devastating for Sunny. If Melania wins, it's not just about the money, though the amount being sought is astronomical. It's about the message it sends. A victory for Melania could set a precedent for how public figures are allowed to speak about each other on platforms like The View. And for Sunny, it could mean the end of her career as a commentator and legal expert. After all, how could someone who's supposed to uphold the truth and analyze the law credibly continue to do so if they're found guilty of defamation? But that's not the only lawsuit Sunny is facing. In a bizarre twist, she's also been hit with legal action by Senator John Fetterman. This case is just as messy as the others, if not more so. Fetterman is suing Sunny over comments she made during a segment on The View, where she discussed his ongoing lawsuit against Sunny Hostin's show and its producers. According to Fetterman's legal team, Sunny's remarks were defamatory and painted him in an unfairly negative light. The lawsuit alleges that Sunny intentionally misrepresented the facts of the case, causing harm to Fetterman's reputation and political career.
I'm reluctant to comment on other people's marriages because I don't want anybody to comment on mine. But they've been married 19 years.
What's particularly interesting about this case is how it ties into the broader narrative of media accountability. Fetterman's lawsuit isn't just about clearing his name. It's about challenging the way media platforms like The View handle sensitive topics and public figures. His legal team argues that shows like The View have a responsibility to ensure their commentary is fair and accurate, especially when discussing serious legal matters. And let's face it, with Sunny's legal troubles already making headlines, this lawsuit couldn't have come at a worse time for her. It adds yet another layer of complexity to an already chaotic situation, and it raises serious questions about how she balances her role as a legal expert with her role as a television personality.
We haven't seen her, and her description of Donald Trump doesn't track with the reality of what we've seen. And I can't relate to the marriage or if they're even in the same place at the same time. So I don't think that...
The timing of these lawsuits is also worth noting. Both the Melania Trump case and the John Fetterman case emerged shortly after news broke about Sunny's alleged involvement in the RICO case. Some commentators have speculated that these new lawsuits are piling on at a time when Sunny is already vulnerable, making it harder for her to fight back effectively. Others see it as a sign that Sunny's public image is crumbling, leaving her open to attack from all sides. Either way, it's clear that Sunny is facing a legal and reputational crisis of epic proportions. What's also worth noting is how Sunny's legal troubles are affecting The View itself. With the show already under fire for past controversies and polarizing moments, Sunny's involvement in multiple lawsuits is adding fuel to the fire. Behind the scenes, producers are reportedly scrambling to manage the fallout, as advertisers and sponsors are said to be uneasy with the ongoing drama. Some insiders have even hinted at tension among the co-hosts, with a few questioning whether Sunny's continued presence on the panel is good for the show's reputation. While Sunny has historically been one of the standout voices on the program, her current situation could be a liability for the network, especially if the lawsuits continue to dominate headlines.
He does like to DJ, that was true.
He is
Can
mean.
I let show to?
He's mean to the Haitians. He's mean to women. He's mean to immigrants.
Everybody.
He's mean to everybody.
He's not mean to...
Adding to the chaos, there's growing speculation about whether Sunny herself might step away from The View temporarily, either by choice or at the urging of network executives. This wouldn't be the first time a high-profile co-host has taken a leave of absence under public scrutiny, and it's a move that could help her focus on her legal battles while giving the show some breathing room. However, stepping back could also be seen as a sign of weakness, potentially damaging her career further. It's a delicate balancing act, and with so much at stake, it remains to be seen how Sunny and the network will handle the mounting pressure.
Is my impression of her real? Like, are they simpatico? Are they very similar?
I actually spent very little time with her. I think I only met her once or twice.
Okay, never mind.
And let's not forget the personal toll this must be taking on Sunny. Being at the center of multiple lawsuits, all while dealing with the fallout from her husband's RICO case, has to be incredibly stressful. Sources close to Sunny say she's been struggling to keep her composure, both on and off camera. Some have even suggested that her recent appearances on The View have been noticeably tense, with Sunny appearing more guarded and less outspoken than usual. It's a stark contrast to the confident, no-nonsense persona she's built over the years, and it's left many wondering how much longer she can keep up the facade. But as much as Sunny may want to focus on her personal and professional challenges, the lawsuits themselves aren't going away anytime soon. Legal experts predict that both the Melania Trump case and the John Fetterman case could drag on for years, especially if they go to trial. And given the high-profile nature of these cases, you can bet they'll be closely watched by the media and the public. For Sunny, that means living under a microscope, with every word and action scrutinized for potential missteps.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out. Right. He does the heavy stuff.
One of the most fascinating aspects of this saga is how it's forcing a broader conversation about media accountability and the role of public figures. Sunny's legal troubles are a stark reminder that even those who comment on the actions of others aren't immune to scrutiny themselves. It's a dynamic that's playing out in real time, and it's raising important questions about the balance between free speech and accountability. Should public figures like Sunny be held to a higher standard because of their platform and influence? Or is this just another example of powerful people using the legal system to silence their critics? These are the kinds of questions that will likely be debated long after the lawsuits are resolved.
But it does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic.
As for Sunny, her next moves will be critical in determining how the story unfolds. Will she fight these lawsuits tooth and nail, or will she opt for settlements to make the problems go away? Either option comes with its own set of challenges. Fighting the lawsuits could be a long and expensive process, and there's no guarantee of victory. On the other hand, settling could be seen as an admission of guilt, further damaging her reputation. It's a lose-lose situation, and it's one that Sunny will have to navigate carefully if she wants to salvage what's left of her career.
Totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
It's just like twice a day.
But here's all I hear from her. America's violent. America's racist. America's bad. Okay.
In the meantime, the public is watching closely, and opinions are divided. Some see Sunny as a victim of a legal system and media landscape that's stacked against her, while others view her as a hypocrite who's finally being held accountable for her actions. Either way, there's no denying that Sunny Hostin's life has taken a dramatic turn, and the fallout from these lawsuits could shape her legacy for years to come. So what do you think? Are these lawsuits a legitimate challenge to Sunny's credibility, or are they just opportunistic attacks designed to take her down? Will she be able to bounce back from this, or is this the beginning of the end for one of daytime television's most outspoken personalities? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for more updates on this ever-evolving story.